Hey everybody. So today I'm going to be doing a video that compiles all of the standards for the Octopus for Preemie US program. This video will replace the two previous standards videos that were posted on our YouTube channel. So now you'll have all the information in one place. So the first thing we're looking for in a completed octopus is that you've used approved yarn and approved filler. So we want you to mark those things down when you send in your octopuses so we can be sure that the yarn that you've used is appropriate for the project. We will be looking at the octopuses for any obvious hair. We don't want to see any pet hair on the octopuses, and they shouldn't have any smell to them. We're going to be looking to make sure that there's no added embellishments to the octopus heads, so things like bows, hats, applied eyes, we don't allow, but you can, if you want to add features to your octopus head, use simple embroidery stitches to do that. So for example, this octopus head, each eye is made with 4 simple embroidery stitches. We ask that they be no wider than 1 single crochet wide each stitch. So you can see that this eye has 1 single crochet wide diagonal stitch, 2 horizontal stitches, and another diagonal stitch. That's only 1 single crochet wide. That keeps the stitching small, and we will be making sure that the stitches are lying flat so little fingers can't get caught underneath any loops. The next thing we're looking for is yarn ends. We don't want to see any yarns coming out of the octopus head. We'll be checking the underside of the octopus around the plug area for yarn ends, and we'll be looking specifically at the tentacles for any knots or loose yarn ends, because we don't allow any joins in the tentacles. If you run out of yarn mid-tentacle, you need to go back and start that tentacle over at the base of the head. So as far as the size of the octopus, the heads need to be between 2.5 inches and 3.5 inches high. So you can see here we have 2 octopuses which are very different in size, but both pass. I'll take my ruler, which I have marked with some critical dimensions. You can see here this is the smallest of octopus heads. This is right at 2.5 inches high. And this would be the largest at 3.5 inches high. From the bottom of the head, right where the tentacle starts, to the top of the head. And we just measure straight, vertically. So tentacle length needs to be between 6.3 inches and 8.5 inches long when the tentacles are completely stretched. So regardless of the size, when they're coiled like this, doesn't matter what length they are, when they're stretched completely and tightly, they need to fall within that range. So what we'll do is we'll take the ruler and hold it up against the base of the octopus head. Stretch that tentacle as tightly as we can and be sure that it falls between 6.3 and 8.5 inches. Okay. We'll do that for each tentacle. They all should be within that range. They don't all need to be the same length, but they all need to be within that range. We'll be looking at the bottom of the octopus to be sure that the plug is constructed correctly and attached correctly. So we don't allow any decreasing. That plug has to be created as a separate piece per the pattern and attached to the base of the octopus head or tentacles. Okay. The next thing we're looking for is tight stitching and holes in the octopus head, because we don't want to have any stuffing coming out, and we don't want to have little fingers getting stuck in the crochet. So I can show you here 2 octopuses made with the same yarn, one which passes the lollipop stick test and another which does not. So a 3-inch lollipop stick has a diameter of 1/8 inch. This can be found on a standard Dum Dum lollipop. And what we do is we look at the largest of holes in your octopus head. If we see stuffing coming through, we'll say, you know, that may be one of the largest holes, and we'll just test it with this lollipop stick. Any 1/8 inch tool will do, and this is something that we suggest you do at home before you send them in. If you can press that lollipop stick into that hole is too large and it's going to fail that octopus. So you can see here we cannot get this stick in. We do push firmly, but we don't wiggle it in and try and create a hole that's not actually there. We do push firmly, and if it goes in, that hole is too large. So in a case like this, you can see the lollipop stick goes in. Let's try over here. And so this would fail. I mean, you can see how stuffing is already coming out. These holes here are obviously too large. So we want you to do this at home and not waste your time or material sending in octopuses that are bound to fail. The next thing we're looking at is the firmness of the octopus. So we want to be sure that when you're done crocheting the octopus head and you're stuffing, that you're stuffing it completely rock hard. I'm going to show you this octopus, which hasn't been washed yet. It is completely hard. I'll use my ruler so you can see here. This has 0 compression. It's completely hard. It hasn't been washed yet. There's no give to the head. What happens is if you don't stuff it this completely hard at the start, it softens up in the wash, it softens up over time, and that octopus head will ultimately become a fail. I'll show you one that was stuffed completely rock hard, and then over time and washing, it softened up. And this happens, so that's why we have to prepare. This octopus head passes our 1-finger compression test, where we push the octopus head up against the solid surface and we make sure that it doesn't go concave. The 1-finger compression test is what we use after washing, after some time has passed, to be sure that the octopus head is not too squishy. Okay, so we want you to test the side of the octopus. After you wash it, we want you to test the top of the octopus after you wash, and also in the neck area. So what you do is you put your octopus down on a flat surface and push with 1 finger. This is our 1-finger compression test. If it goes concave, that's a fail. I'll show you. In this case, I had an octopus head which I thought was firmly stuffed. It's been washed and it's been sitting for a while. It was not rock hard when I completed it, but it did pass this 1-finger compression test when I completed it. Now that it's been washed and some time has passed, it's become an octopus fail. So it's too squishy. That's why we ask that they be really rock hard to start before washing. Because after washing and with time, it will definitely soften up. This octopus was stuffed firmly before I washed it, but not hard enough. So I hope that helps answer any questions you may have had about the standards we use to check your octopuses. Be sure to read through all of the files that are posted in the file section on our Facebook page. There's tons of helpful information there. Have fun, and I can't wait to see your octopuses. Thanks.